Oh my God, man. Oh my God. I can't do it no more, man. I can't do it. My phone is going crazy. I got people hitting me up. What the fuck is going on? What is going on? Listen. I know all of you fucking imbeciles. I know every fucking one of you who doesn't have a goddamn fucking pee for brains. You're all doing this. You're all dancing. Vince McMahon's got you on the fucking puppet strings. Vince McMahon got the Shield back together. Again. For what? What did he get the Shield back together for? Ambrose is back with Rollins. Rollins is the Intercontinental Champion. He's got a thing going on with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler right now. But they dust off their Shield vests and help Roman retain the title from a supposed cash-in from Braun Strowman. This is WWE's way to continue Roman as a babyface and try and use the Shield to turn Braun Strowman into a heel. Do not, and I urge you, do not think so hard about what happened. People are already telling me, why don't you just enjoy the fucking moment for what it is? What moment? What moment? We seen the Shield back together in 2017. That stopped because it wasn't getting Roman over. Now they're doing it again, being that they're all healthy, and they're trying to use it to get Roman over as a babyface. Enough of this shit! Enough! This is absolutely headed for failure. Headed for failure. If it did anything tonight, it's actually turning Braun Strowman into more of a babyface. And it's going to turn the Shield, for the third fucking time, into a heel faction. And that's not what Vince McMahon wants, because Vince McMahon doesn't want to be wrong. Vince McMahon's seen this 4-year plan for Roman Reigns to finally be the Universal Champion end at SummerSlam, and everybody in that arena, I don't give a fuck if you want to suck Roman's cock or not, wanted Braun Strowman to win that Universal Championship and cash in on Monday Night Raw. WWE didn't do that. Strowman didn't cash in, the bell never rang. They made clear mention of that. The bell never rang. So here we are. Another cash-in attempt thwarted, but this time WWE used the Shield to get Roman Reigns over again. And it's not going to work. The balls on Vince McMahon, the rumors of Strowman and Roman continuing after SummerSlam for the Universal Championship. They're using the Shield to try and manipulate you. You are nothing but a fucking puppet on strings. People going crazy over this. For what? What are you going crazy over? The agenda is in full effect. I literally heard slurping noises as Corey Graves was sucking cock on commentary. It's about the Roman push, the Roman agenda. They do it for Roman. Nobody on commentary could say one bad thing about Roman Reigns. The guy can fucking rob a bank and commit murder. He'd be the greatest human being alive, Roman Reigns. Oh, how he's a defending Universal Champion. Motherfucker, the guy just won the title. What defending? Let him get a fucking few title reigns under his belt. You're already claiming that he's the most defending Universal Champion of all time. I never seen such fucking garbage in my entire life. How much of a good humanitarian he is. He's got a stand-up characteristic about him. He's a good character. He's noble. He's honor. I never heard such fucking garbage in my entire life for a WWE superstar. I never seen a push to try and get this guy over so much. Hogan, Cena, weren't as bad as what we're seeing now. Reigns, forget about it. This guy's on another fucking planet living all by himself in Vince's pants. No question. Do not fall for the trickery. Do not fall for it. They are manipulating you. They are trying to give you something that you hold near and dear to your heart in the Shield. Everybody loves the Shield. Everybody loves Rollins, Reigns, Ambrose together, the fist pump, the triple power bomb, right? They love the black vest, the old school theme. They are trying to use something that you love so much to try and turn a guy they put so much effort into as a babyface, and they want to use the Shield to turn Braun into a heel so that he can battle Roman for the title. Meanwhile, Roman ain't the guy we want. Strowman's the guy we want. Nobody is going to boo Braun Strowman. I am telling you this right now. And don't tell me, give it a chance. I gave it a chance until 11:08 when that fucking show went off the air. I gave it a chance. I'm like, this can't be it. There has to be more to this. Where's Brock Lesnar? Is something going to happen here? But WWE went about their business. And my God, you thought the push for SummerSlam was bad for Roman. Holy shit. They took this to a whole nother level. Absolutely god-awful. It was physically disgusting. I was physically disgusted by what we seen close Monday Night Raw. Yet everybody's going crazy over it. Why don't you just enjoy them? What moment? What am I enjoying here? I'm not enjoying anything on this show. This show was fucking terrible. Coming out of SummerSlam yesterday, you figured you'd see a surprise or two, a call-up from NXT, a debut, a title change, a cash-in, Lesnar. I got nothing. I got nothing on this show. But Roman pandering and Stephanie McMahon trying to hold herself above the entire women's division. Yeah, that makes for a great fucking 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. Holy shit. I don't know what to tell you people, man. I feel like I'm the leader of a church trying to spread the good word here. This is what I try to do. And people are going to come at me and say that I'm a negative fuck. That all I do is bitch, moan, and complain. I don't know what the fuck you're watching, but I know what I'm watching, and what I watched tonight is WWE use the Shield to try and manipulate you thinking that you should cheer for Roman and boo Braun Strowman. That's exactly what they tried to do. Fuck out of here, man. This is a complete joke. Whoever writes this show is a complete fucking blithering idiot. I can't stand this shit. I really can't. This is absolutely one of the most disgusting times to be a WWE fan. Really. There's nothing positive about this show. Nothing. I don't know what else to tell you. But I'm gonna tell you what needs to happen now. You want to know what the fuck needs to happen now? I'll tell you what needs to happen now. There's one shining beacon of fucking hope from this entire storyline. And this is absolutely brilliant. This may be the most brilliant thing that could ever come of this. And I'm telling you this right now. Nobody, I don't give a fuck what anybody else is doing right now, recording, live. I don't give a shit what Sean Ross Sapp is doing. I love him. I think he's great. Cronin's probably talking about it. I'm doing this now. And I'm telling you where they need to go with this now. I've heard nothing from anybody else in the community. And I won't listen to anybody else till tomorrow because everybody else doesn't do the review like I do the night of. This is what needs to happen. The one thing that I seen come out of this entire situation tonight was Dean Ambrose. I seen him walking out with the vest. The guy hasn't uttered one fucking word since he's been back. And you know what? I would keep it that way. The silent lunatic is what we're going for here. Rollins is the Intercontinental Champion. Roman Reigns is the Universal Champion. Dean feels left out. Poor little Dean Ambrose feels left out, right? He's back. Now, I know a lot of you people, every time I mention Dean Ambrose was out for 9 months because of Seth Rollins. JD, it was Samoa Joe that injured Dean Ambrose. No shit. I know what I watched. I know what you guys watched. But I'm using it as a storyline because Joe is on SmackDown Live. Ambrose and Rollins are on Monday Night Raw. So it would make sense to play the narrative of Rollins being the one to injure Dean Ambrose in that instance and ruin him for the last 9 months. Ambrose could use this as a way. He sees this as an opening. This thing's happening for me. We're back together. The brotherhood is strong, right? He could use this as a way to pull a Seth Rollins. 5 years ago, Seth Rollins turned his back on the Shield and joined the Authority. He was the company man. He went on to be one of the biggest names in the company based on that one heel turn for that entire year and beyond. It was unbelievable. Ambrose is now being set up to do the very same thing in 2018. If Dean Ambrose is the one to turn heel and turn his back on the very same people in the very same way that Seth Rollins did 5 years ago, and Dean costs Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns this entire situation, if Dean costs Roman Reigns the Universal Championship at the end of all this, and Braun Strowman is just the fortunate recipient of a Dean Ambrose fucking lunatic snapping just because he feels like he's the weak link. Nobody gave a shit about him. Reigns didn't reach out to him when he was hurt. Rollins didn't reach out when he was hurt. The narrative is there. It's WWE's time to write that narrative. Roman did his thing. Rollins did his thing. They forgot all about Dean. The brotherhood for the last 9 months has been dead. And if they use a heel Dean to go against a babyface Rollins or a Roman Reigns, listen, this title is not going to be between Dean or Roman. It's not going to be a heel Dean versus a babyface Roman. We're not going to see that shit. That title belongs on Braun Strowman. There's no doubt in my mind that that title belongs on Braun Strowman. If you do not pull the trigger on Braun Strowman now, it's going to end up being too little too late. You can't wait anymore. You waited all this fucking time. It needs to happen. But Dean coming out there with the Shield and Rollins and helping Reigns tonight, the idea of him turning on Rollins and Reigns, the very same way that Rollins turned on Ambrose and Reigns, is the absolute best story here. There's no other way around it. That's what needs to happen. That is the one shining, glaring beacon of fucking light at the end of the tunnel here. That's it. And now I'm not sure if WWE is going to do that. And you know what? I'd go a step further again. You know, I am making a statement here right now. I am no longer going to book Roman Reigns as a heel. It's not happening. Roman Reigns as a heel. For the last 4 years, I've been praying to fucking God for this to happen, so that he's portrayed in the right way. I am tired of talking about Roman Reigns being a heel. It's not happening. Clearly, it's not happening. We're going to have to live with the fact that Roman is formulaic and stale and misportrayed, miscast on Monday Night Raw. It's something that we're going to have to just get used to. If there's 3 things in life that are certain: death, taxes, and shoving Roman Reigns down our throats every fucking Monday night. And not doing what they should be doing with him. I like this idea. And you know what? I would honestly have Dean snap. Everything I talked about with Roman. Everything. Turning him heel, aligning him with the authors of pain. Forget it. Out the window. You want Dean to fucking snap? You want to bring the lunatic out of Dean? You have Dean turn his back on the Shield and reform the Shield in his own image. You get Dean with the authors of pain. You do something along those lines. Or Dean with 2 other guys that are up and coming. Or Dean with a tag team that we need to see and that could get the spotlight and benefit from this major storyline. Dean should recreate the Shield in his own image. You know? That's the way I do it. And then we can get Dean versus Seth, Dean versus Roman. Your main event is set. The top of your card is set. Strowman is the Universal Champion. He can go on to defend the title against whomever is going to cross his path. And then WWE can build to Roman versus Strowman at WrestleMania, like I had predicted months and months and months ago. But Braun Strowman's not turning into a heel. If this continues this way, more people will be siding with Strowman than against him. Because he still has that briefcase. That briefcase is it's one of those things that people will pop for it. They want to see it happen because they feel Strowman deserves it. They're not going to turn their back on someone who they feel deserves to be at the top of the show as its champion. This is what I talked about last night with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch didn't turn heel. People claiming Becky Lynch turned heel. Where? Where did Becky Lynch turn heel? At SummerSlam. Because she attacked Charlotte after the match? Because Charlotte took Becky's spotlight away? No, that was WWE taking a risk and using the city that they were in the correct way, knowing that if they do this, it could backfire, but if they also do it, they could reap the benefits. Becky's not a heel. That attack was warranted. You deserve it, was chanted at Charlotte. If that did anything, it turned Charlotte heel because people think Becky deserves to be the women's champion. They find Charlotte to be in the wrong, and they find Charlotte to be a shitty friend. She ain't Becky's friend after that. Becky snapped like anybody else would because she's tired of playing second fiddle. And when the fans truly believe that you deserve something, they are going to stay with you until you get what you deserve. Or what they feel you deserve. Becky is not a heel. But this Dean situation, with this whole thing coming out tonight with the Shield, that is the absolute way that they need to do this. If not, if this is made out to be another Roman fucking let's push him as a babyface and turn Braun Strowman into a heel, this is an automatic fucking failure. They seem to just get worse and worse and worse as the months go on with this shit. I'm tired of it. I can't take it anymore. But that's what needs to happen. But don't be fooled about that main event shit. Don't be fooled about what Reigns and the Shield did to Strowman tonight. Do not. That's all it was. Sheer fucking... It was absolutely disgusting. It was pathetic. Sheer manipulation on WWE's behalf. They are trying to tell you, listen, Roman's here, let's get the Shield back together. Now you can boost Strowman. And just like SummerSlam, Strowman was a fucking puppet. At SummerSlam, Strowman was only out there because he was the Shield, per se, quote unquote, from the crowd hijacking the match at SummerSlam between Lesnar and Reigns. That's the only reason why he was there. Because people are going to cheer Braun Strowman coming out because he's got the briefcase. They're going to put him there and have him stand there all night because it's going to give you an unpredictability factor. Is he going to cash in? When's he going to cash in? When's the moment going to be where he strikes? So instead of shitting on the match, they were holding their breath in anticipation for Strowman to cash in. And then when he didn't, we got a piss poor ending, and WWE made everybody look like a fucking idiot. Ridiculous. But please do not fall for the bullshit. If you hear, and I'm calling people out because I'm tired of the fucking happy-go-lucky garbage that you see in the community. You know, I'm calling out Wrestle Talk and everybody else affiliated with the community. You know, What Culture and everybody else who's gonna be fucking, oh my God, the Shield is back together. This was one of the best Monday Night Raws of all time. Clearly, everybody is they're not right. They're not right. Stop sucking the dick, please. I want to hear exactly what I'm telling you, because that's exactly what it is. It wasn't great. It wasn't one of those moments, why don't you shut up and enjoy it for what it is. We've seen this done already. It failed the first time. WWE didn't do it right the first time with this. Back in 2017 when they got the Shield back together. Now what happens? WWE's going to try it again? No, because Ambrose is back? Now, this needs to be the catalyst that makes Dean Ambrose into a fucking superstar. That's where it needs to go. Speaking of the match with Roman Reigns and Finn Balor, the main event, it was a very good main event. It was actually something that could main event SummerSlam, if you ask me. But that match was pretty much overtaken by what happened after the match. At least least Finn was not buried like I thought he was going to be buried. He was made into a superstar. He looked like a fucking superstar at the end of that thing. He really came out looking really, really good. And Finn Balor is really, really good. Roman Reigns can be really, really good too, as long as he's working with the right fucking guy. I just fucking hate the way this guy's portrayed on television. I'm tired of this fucking plunger down everybody's throat every fucking week. You know? Anyway, that's what I got to say about that. Let me know what you guys think about that down below in the comment section. The other thing I want to talk about here is the other big thing. This show was very just, it just felt weak for a Fallout show, for a show that's following SummerSlam. There's nothing of importance happening on the show. There was no call-up. You know, people were mentioning Velveteen Dream being called up. Somebody, a debut, a title change, storylines going into Hell in a Cell now. You know, WWE wants to, push the women's political agenda and the Roman agenda, and they want to bypass storylines. Now, how many weeks till Hell in a Cell? You got 4 weeks, right? So, one Monday Night Raw's down the drain. Now you got 3 Monday Night Raws before Hell in a Cell. You should start out of the gate getting ready for the next pay-per-view. It doesn't stop for one person in particular. You should be building storylines to your next pay-per-view. WWE didn't do any of that. We're probably going to get rematches from SummerSlam at Hell in a Cell. Because they're lazy. And there's no creativity in this company whatsoever. This Women's Evolution pay-per-view, I'm dreading it already, okay? I am sick and tired already. And they just came back to television last night. The Bella Twins, I am sick and tired of seeing them already, and they haven't even uttered one fucking word yet about this bullshit, this Ronda Rousey bullshit. Why are we seeing Nikki and Brie Bella around Ronda Rousey everywhere she goes? Is this a foreshadowing for what Dave Meltzer had talked about with Nikki Bella and Ronda Rousey being the main event at WWE Evolution in Long Island? God, I hope not. I truly hope not. You know, WWE positioning the Bella Twins with Ronda Rousey is absolutely fucking pathetic. I want you guys to know, and listen, Brie and Nikki are a lot better as professional wrestlers than they were when they first started out. I am not taking anything away from them or their work ethic as far as what they do in the ring. But my God, the bad taste that is the Divas division many, many years ago before WWE turned it over and turned it into the women's division. The Divas division still leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth, even today. And what we see on television is nothing but that Divas division disguised with cool words like evolution and cool words like revolution and given their own pay-per-view, all women's pay-per-view. And they hide behind the Sasha Banks-Bayley match at TakeOver Brooklyn. And they reference all, Charlotte and Sasha and what they did in the main event, women main eventing Monday Night Raw. They hide behind all these nuances and all these history-making moments. The first time women were inside Hell in a Cell. The first Women's Royal Rumble. Blah, 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 blah. But WWE wants to turn around and just have Stephanie McMahon in the ring and have her on such a high pedestal, on such a throne. Having Stephanie in that moment is taking away from everything that this division was built off of. The division was built off of Sasha Banks and Bayley. The division was built around and started from what NXT did and continues to this very day. NXT, and I mentioned before, the shining beacon of hope. NXT is the shining beacon of hope for anything, quality-wise, that this company has. The NXT women's division, still to this day, is the blueprint for what should be done on the main roster. No, but WWE wants to put Stephanie McMahon in the ring and have her showcased to everybody as the most important figurehead in the WWE when it concerns the women. Why? Why is that? Stephanie hasn't done anything. That moment should be Ronda's and Ronda's alone. And if Ronda wanted to come out and invite women to the ring, that would be on her. But having Ronda standing next to Nikki and Brie Bella, two women who are the definition of the very reason why we hate the Divas division, everybody looks at them as being divas. They are reality television stars. To many people watching this show, they aren't professional wrestlers. But you're going to put that image next to Ronda Rousey, who's the most legit female on the face of the fucking earth? When it comes to this type of environment? I don't like that at all. I fucking downright hate it. And now Nikki and Brie and this foreshadowing of the Bellas and Ronda Rousey, it's fucking sickening. I made mention of this on my SummerSlam review. That moment should have been Ronda's and Ronda's alone. And WWE turned it into this nauseating 10-15 minute hug fest and pushing the initiative about how women deserve this and how the women need to fucking stand up and, fight for everything that they have and all this other fucking nauseating garbage that we've seen. I don't need to be told about the women. There's been nobody more on what the women have done than me. But it has to be done the right way. When you do what you do tonight, you are actually pushing people away from caring about the women's Evolution pay-per-view. I don't need to be told through the eyes and mouth of what Stephanie McMahon says. Why don't you leave that up to the people watching the fucking show? We all know that the women's revolution started in NXT, and it will continue in NXT. WWE has given me no reason at all on the main roster to care about women's wrestling. It's fucking boring. It is absolutely, right now to me, it's at a very, very low point. And I don't know what else to say. It's disgusting. But having Stephanie McMahon in that moment, taking everything away from everybody else, it's downright disgusting. It's wrong. I don't want to see this anymore. And then Ronda attacks Stephanie McMahon at the end of this thing. You want to know the fucking nightmare I had watching this? Can you imagine WWE having Ronda attack Stephanie McMahon and put her in an armbar? Can you imagine WWE for the Women's Evolution pay-per-view books the main event of not Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey, but Stephanie McMahon versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Stephanie McMahon being in the main event of the first ever women's pay-per-view just because she's Stephanie McMahon? At that point, A, I hope it bombs. B, I don't feel 1 ounce of pity for anybody that legitimately, willingly buys tickets to that show. And C, they're even lucky if I give it any coverage on this platform whatsoever. Simple as that. That segment was downright awful. It was awful. Ember Moon, Sasha, Bayley, Natalya, they all deserve better. They all deserve better. And if I'm booking Evolution, instead of WWE pandering to this fucking agenda, Ronda Rousey should have came out and expressed how she won the title and how she's going to be a fighting champion and how she's going to be there at every show and be there for the division and give the division a champion that it needs. That's what should have been said, based through Ronda's vision. And Ronda should have set aside Natty as her opponent for Evolution. That's what should have been done tonight. Natty versus Ronda should have been the main event booked tonight for Evolution. Why? Because of exactly what she said about Natty tonight. She's the flag bearer of this division. Natty and Ronda have a storied history on WWE television already. Natty was the first one to welcome Ronda into the WWE. Natty trained and got Ronda ready for the WWE. And just based on what had happened with her father and Jim Neidhart passing away, I would have Ronda give Natty the title shot in honor of her father. You know, her father couldn't be around to see this great spectacle, this great pay-per-view. In honor of Jim Neidhart, I want Natty in the main event of Evolution. That's what I would do. There's nothing better than that. But can you imagine WWE giving me Stephanie McMahon versus Ronda Rousey at Evolution for the Women's Championship? Stephanie McMahon needs to be away and stay away from this show. I am tired of her pandering as if she's the only thing that matters when it comes to the women, and why the division is where it is today is because of her. No. I don't give a fuck if she's playing a character. It should not be said. Because it's not true. WWE has held women like Sasha Banks back, women like Bayley back, and have portrayed them in the worst possible way. When all they do is live off, and they live vicariously through what they did in Brooklyn 4 years ago. And I'm tired of it. Sasha and Bayley have never been given another opportunity since that match to recreate the magic of what made this division what it is today. That's a slap in the face. I'm just tired of all the fucking political bullshit. I really am. I can't stand this shit. Nauseating. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Other than that, those were the two biggest things on Monday Night Raw. And I can't really say that I am excited to see where WWE goes from here. You know, I seen Simon Miller on Twitter today talking about SummerSlam. And I watch What Culture. I watch their content. But when you got guys like Simon Miller coming out and saying, this is a great, or SummerSlam was great, this could be a great start for WWE to start doing the right thing. Do you know the program that you're watching? Why would anybody expect WWE to pick up where they left off from SummerSlam and give me good television going into Hell in a Cell? I don't know, man. I really don't know. Monday Night Raw from the Barclays Center. We got one more night in the Barclays tomorrow for SmackDown Live, and apparently they're making SmackDown Live pretty big. I think we got Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy tomorrow, and we got a tag team title match between the New Day and the Bludgeon Brothers in a no DQ tag team title match. Roman Reigns comes out, and we're going to listen to Roman Reigns' promo right now because it was downright laughable. Roman Reigns comes out, he's the new Universal Champion, booed out of the fucking building. Where was this Brooklyn last night when he won the championship? Oh, that's right. They were fucking exhausted from a 6.5-hour SummerSlam. Roman Reigns comes out to defend the Universal title, and he has one particular name in mind.
I'm a man of my word.
Yeah, so am I.
I said I was going to beat Brock Lesnar. And I did. I also said when I won this that I was going to defend it. And that's what I plan on doing tonight. And typically, I'd make it real easy and just open this thing up for anybody that wants to step up. But I have one man in mind. It's funny because this man actually won this Universal title here in Brooklyn. And he got hurt and he never had an opportunity again. I'm gonna defend it tonight. And the man that I'm gonna defend this against is Finn Balor.
See, I don't know how...
I accept your challenge.
I don't know how that would have gotten Roman Reigns, over, continuing with what they were doing, but I guess at the end of it, it really didn't matter. Because everybody in that building wanted Finn Balor to win by the closing segments of that match. But I didn't really get what they were trying to do here with this opening segment. But then we got what we got in the main event. Whatever happened, happened. And all of this was pretty much null and void by the close of Monday Night Raw.
And I'm taking back my title tonight.
Let's make it official.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Everybody just calm down. As exciting as it would be to see Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship tonight, that's not gonna happen.
I'm really liking Baron Corbin's mic skills. He's gotten a lot
Finn,
better.
if you think you're gonna get rewarded for that little stunt you pulled last night, you're crazy. I was set to face Finn Balor, the man, and you no-showed and sent the demon instead. I don't know why you're smiling. That was unprofessional, it was cowardly, and it was in breach of contract. And not to mention, with all of the lights, the smoke, and the noise, I couldn't hear or see, so I never heard the bell ring. So as far as I'm concerned, that match never happened.
Corbin, you really let that constable thing get to your head. You see, here on Raw, I make the matches, not you.
Kurt,
I don't care what you think, but I do care what Brooklyn, New York thinks. So Brooklyn, would you like to see Finn Balor challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship tonight? I thought so. That will be our main event tonight.
That was the open to Monday Night Raw. Simple, to the point, and, you know, it did what it did. It set the excitement for the end of the show. There's really not much more I could say coming off that opening segment, you know? But it is what it is, man, and I went in depth about what happened in the main event and what happened to close the show, and I stand behind what I say. I don't know what else to say. But WWE moved on from that, and they figured we wanted to see Bobby Lashley wrestle in a 20-minute match against Baron Corbin. So WWE comes out of SummerSlam. We get a huge main event announced for Monday Night Raw, and then we get Bobby Lashley coming out to the sounds of crickets in this late summer-esque night. And we got Bobby Lashley versus Baron Corbin on Monday Night Raw. Fantastic. Fantastic. Bobby Lashley wins here. Lashley drops Corbin with a modified cutter for the win. This match was downright boring to the point where fans were chanting, "This is boring." I don't blame you, New York. I don't blame you whatsoever. Paul Heyman was on the show. I thought Brock Lesnar was going to be on the show. We didn't see Brock Lesnar, but we did get Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is backstage in Angle's office. Heyman says that Lesnar would like to get his rematch for the Universal Championship. Angle then says the contract doesn't state when the rematch will take place, but he has a fighting champion. Again, there's that fucking phrase for Roman Reigns, a fighting champion. Correct me if I'm wrong. He just won the title. Who has he defended the title against? Up until this point, to use the term and phrase, we have a fighting champion. I don't know whether he put the title on the line in a game of checkers in the hotel room after the show against Finn Balor. I don't know. Maybe he had a drinking contest and he put the title on the line against Sheamus down at the hotel bar. Or maybe he had a dick measuring contest with Vince McMahon because you know how they both love looking at each other's fucking private parts. I don't know. What fighting champion do we have on Monday Night Raw? The title's back on Monday Night Raw, but a fighting champion, we don't have one of them yet. We don't have one of them yet. So, sorry to say, Mr. Angle, your sentiment here about Reigns is obviously not right, and you are incredibly misinformed. So, we get Lesnar getting a rematch here. Heyman says, we want the rematch. Heyman was thinking, well, not right now, but I'm thinking Hell in a Cell. And then Angle says it will be a cold day in hell, or as they say in Brooklyn, forget about it. And then he walked off. All right, Andrew Dice Clay, you know? I pictured fucking Angle wearing the leather jacket and the sunglasses and doing the whole fucking cigarette, you know? Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Trim that pussy, it's so damn hairy. Oh! I looked at Angle, I'm like, what are you trying to imitate, Dice? You know? Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, we get Angle and Baron Corbin backstage. A lot of talking segments to open this show. Kurt Angle's backstage, and Baron Corbin comes walking, and he's not happy. Baron Corbin's not happy. Hey, Mr. Corbin, I'm not happy either. I gotta watch Monday Night Raw every fucking week for 3 hours, and this is the shit that we get. I'm not happy either, but Corbin is not happy with his last 2 matches. He's tired of Angle not giving him what he wants. Sounds like me every fucking week. I'm not getting what I want. But Angle's job is to do what is best for the WWE Universe, not Baron Corbin. Corbin says Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon is here tonight. So he's going to go talk to her and see if that changes his tune. And Corbin walks off. God, Stephanie McMahon was on the show. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God, man. I've never seen this match before. Holy shit. Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ember Moon versus the Riot Squad. Man, oh man. Where have I seen this before? Every fucking week in 2018. Jesus Christ. The end of this match actually wasn't that bad, man. I love Ruby Riott. I think she's fantastic. You know, the one thing about Ronda being champion is the fact that women like Ruby Riott aren't even going to be anywhere near the title until Ronda doesn't have it anymore. You may get a chance at Ronda, but you ain't beating Ronda. Ronda is going to be the champion until we get to WrestleMania. She ain't losing that title. But she's going to lose the title to Charlotte Flair, I'll tell you that. But I love Ruby Riott, man. I think she's great. She looks great. She looks the part. She can wrestle. Man, we need to start seeing Ruby Riott versus Bayley, Ruby Riott versus Ember, Ruby Riott versus Sasha, or a mix of match. Sasha versus Ember, Sasha versus Bayley. What's going on here? What is it with the 6-woman tags? I don't understand this shit. It's more beneficial to put 1-on-1 in the ring than give me 6 when we've seen it every fucking week. And why are Sasha and Bayley feuding with the Riot Squad? I don't know. I don't know. It is downright pathetic that we have to see another 6-woman tag with the same people involved. And then there are people still claiming that we need 2 sets of women's tag team titles when they're introduced. This is your future. This is your future. And if this is the future, I want out immediately. I want out. The Riot Squad win here. Banks jumps off the apron, takes Logan down to the floor. Banks returns to the ring. Ruby delivers a devastating Riot kick to Sasha Banks, knocked her out cold, and Ruby Riott pins Sasha Banks in the middle of that ring, and the Riot Squad win. They win. This actually wasn't that bad going down the stretch, but, I mean, for the love of God, enough is enough already. Moving on here, man. Triple H comes out, and fans are chanting for NXT. He mentioned NXT blew the roof off the place on Saturday, and SummerSlam took it to a new level. I'm not sure about all that, but NXT did indeed blow the roof off of the Barclays Center on Saturday. Remember, SummerSlam actually took place on Saturday night, and SummerScam took place on Sunday night. Don't forget it. Triple H says that he's a fan, just like the others, and promises to work until the day he dies to make sure this, the WWE, is here for everyone. He says weekends like this also give him another feeling. They give him the itch and makes him want to lace up the boots once again, to be the game, the cerebral assassin once again. He talks about Vince McMahon calling him to work WWE Super Showdown in Australia against The Undertaker. He originally said no to the match because of the special moment he had with Taker and Shawn Michaels inside Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania just a few years back. That is where The Undertaker honestly should have retired. Right then and there. And call it a day. That was the perfect moment. But here we are still in 2018 and The Undertaker is still wrestling. The crowd chants for HBK. And Triple H says that moment now is one of the greatest moments that you will ever see in the history of this business. He couldn't believe he was standing next to HBK and The Undertaker, two of the biggest names in the history of this sport. He says that moment changed all three of them in ways they didn't expect. They knew it was the end of an era, but not like that. Michaels was gone. The streak was dead. And Triple H put on a suit and became the COO of WWE. It would be over. All of it. Triple H says their era was something special. Without sounding like a bitter veteran, a "you still got it" chant started up. And I don't like that being chanted at guys who really don't need it. Triple H has always had it. Triple H still can go. He's not old by any stretch of the imagination. He looks fantastic. And a "you still got it" chant for Triple H, to me, is disrespectful, if you really think about it. Because he never lost it. He never lost it. In fact, Triple H is gaining knowledge day by day, week by week, by the job that he's doing in NXT. And I mentioned this once, and I'm going to say it again, being that we're talking about NXT. NXT is the future and the blueprint for what WWE should be. I don't give a shit what anybody says. That's the form of entertainment I think we all want on Monday night. That is what we need. Because whatever we're getting on Monday and Tuesday, it ain't getting the job done. It is not getting the job done. Triple H recalls how he called Vince back and accepted this match with The Undertaker. He will take off his suit, tape back up, lace up the boots, and he will be the game once again. If Taker will put on the hat, pick up those gloves, and be the Phenom one more time, Triple H says the match in October is going to be in front of 80,000 people. The era is back, Triple H says. The Undertaker and the game, one last time. And Triple H drops the mic and loosens his tie and walks off. These two guys will be fighting until they are no longer breathing. So one last time, the end of an era, and here we are, the final time. It was the end of an era back at WrestleMania. And now it's one more time, a final meeting. Give me a break. Give me a break. Both of these guys could have one foot in the fucking grave and they'd still be going at it at an event like this. Super Showdown in Australia. I am not interested by any stretch of the imagination in a Triple H Undertaker match. I don't want to see an aging Undertaker wrestle Triple H. All I want from Triple H is to continue molding NXT into the best thing in North America when it comes to professional wrestling. That's all I want. I want him to continue molding talent, and I want him to continue building this company's future. That is all I want. I don't care about seeing Triple H back in the ring. I don't give a shit about seeing The Undertaker or his entrance anymore. But I will say this. If this was the start of a storyline, if this was the start of the build for October, Triple H can speak with the best of them. He's one of the best promos in the history of this business. If someone commands the microphone, it is certainly Triple H. This could be a fun little throwback. This could be a fun little back and forth between Triple H and The Undertaker if we have The Undertaker show up on Monday night, also helping build intrigue for this match. Or maybe WWE doesn't even go that route and they're just going to sell it on the nostalgia fact and the catchphrase in itself. I don't know. But I don't want to see this match. I don't care to see these two aging veterans at a major WWE pay-per-view in 2018. All I want is for Triple H to continue doing successful things with NXT. But he certainly did get you somewhat hyped. I care about it a little bit less after tonight. I still don't care for it at all, though. Simple as that. But Triple H and The Undertaker could definitely have a good back and forth here. Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler. Dean Ambrose, I didn't expect him to be in the ring wrestling tonight, so that was quite the surprise. I mentioned I am not the biggest fan of Dean Ambrose or what he does in between those ropes. I think Dean Ambrose is very stale. I think he's very bland. And I noticed barely any difference between Dean Ambrose now, coming back from injury, and Dean Ambrose 10 months ago when he was out with injury. I don't really see a difference. And I'm hoping what I talked about in the beginning of this show, with Dean Ambrose using this Shield reunion as a way to build him up now and turn him into a heel, that needs to happen. That needs to be the change that we see in Dean Ambrose. I noticed no other difference in Dean Ambrose regardless. But the finish here sees Ambrose get the win with the Dirty Deeds, with involvement from Rollins and McIntyre on the outside. Dirty Deeds look brutal, and I love the way Ambrose just sat there knowing he just connected all of it, made the cover. He knew it was over. 1, 2, 3. Good spot there. Dean Ambrose with Dirty Deeds and beats Dolph Ziggler, the former Intercontinental Champion, on Monday Night Raw. Elias is backstage talking to 2 crew members. He says one of them has a 3rd strike. He mentions that this is important and their jobs will be on the line. Elias takes his guitar and he starts to talk about SummerSlam. He says that someone is out to get him. He's already fired 3 of his crew members. And Elias says whoever is messing with him hasn't come to the realization that WWE stands for Walk with Elias. Now, Elias says he was supposed to, perform for Brooklyn at SummerSlam, but people are bad for his health, he says. So he said the doctor told him to stay away. I laughed at that. Elias goes on and is ready to play his greatest song yet, but he needs everyone to shut their damn mouths, and he's interrupted again. This is a common theme with Elias. And the person that comes out to interrupt him is Kurt Hawkins. Kurt Hawkins says Elias wants to be number 1, but Hawkins was thinking number 1 as in the first win of his WWE run. Hawkins goes on and says this certainly isn't Elias' town. He proposes they end Hawkins' 218-match losing streak right here tonight. Elias says Hawkins is a loser. He was born a loser and he will die a loser, just like every single person in New York City. Elias says this is his stage. It's reserved for stars and Hawkins doesn't belong here. And then he tells Elias tells Hawkins rather, to get the hell out of Brooklyn. So Hawkins then stops and asks if Elias is going to hide behind his guitar and goofy scarf or if he's going to fight. So the challenge is laid down and the match happens. And this one was fairly easy. Squash, drift away for the win. And Elias now adds another loss to Kurt Hawkins' unbelievable record of 219 straight losses. Listen. Elias needs to do something important. I'm getting really, really frustrated with people who want to harp on Elias. I love Elias just like everybody else likes Elias. I really do. I think he's great. I love the character. The guy's got fucking all the potential in the world to be the biggest thing on this show. I love how he controls the crowd. I love his gimmick. I love the way he just puts down the crowd, how he gets real, genuine heel heat, and WWE's doing nothing with him. A match with Kurt Hawkins after SummerSlam on Monday Night Raw. Are you fucking joking me? I mentioned this in my SummerSlam review. Elias is treading a very thin line right now. You either put Elias in a major program and you start giving this guy what he deserves and start reaping the benefits of this great character, or this guy is going to be an afterthought on Monday Night Raw. Elias is well above what WWE has going on for him right now. He goes from Bobby Lashley to Kurt Hawkins with no talk of what happened with Bobby Lashley. They didn't even have a match yet. So you expect me to not think about what happened with Bobby Lashley? When are we going to get Elias versus Bobby Lashley? Is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? I don't care if it happens or not. I'm just saying that WWE right now is all over the map with Elias, and it's not doing him any favors. He is right now one step away from being boring. And I'm one step away from completely not caring about what he does on television, because they're not featuring him the way that he should be featured. He is much more than a musical act to try and get heel heat from the crowd. The guy can go in the ring if he wants to. The guy has championship material written all over him. Let's start pushing him in the right way. It would not only enhance Elias and the character, but I think people are ready to see this guy do more than just strum a few notes and put out shitty music. Take it to the next level. You're bringing Elias down every single week, slowly but surely. Dana Brooke is backstage talking to Apollo Crews when Titus O'Neil walks up. Apparently, the potatoes were not baked enough. I think Seth Rollins complained of a cold baked potato, so Titus was looking for Apollo Crews. Something needed to be done here. So we get Titus O'Neil saying he's been looking for him. Dana says they were discussing strategy, but it looks like they were talking, quote unquote, to one another. Dana says she's found a weakness for the Authors of Pain. What would that be? The only weakness for the Authors of Pain is WWE Creative. That is the biggest weakness. I don't think Dana Brooke is smart enough to figure out a weakness for the Authors of Pain. Dana Brooke isn't even good enough to fold a fucking napkin in catering. Found a weakness for the Authors of Pain. Fuck out of here. They talk strategy, and we get another match with the Authors of Pain, who I'm going to label right now. Their new name going forward is the Authors of Catering. The Authors of Catering versus Titus Catering Worldwide. It's the catering crew on Monday Night Raw. Last chapter on Apollo Crews, and the Authors of Pain win. Listen, Creative, if you're watching me, bro, how many more weeks do we got to see this? How many more weeks? Is there a purpose? Is there a means to an end here? What is this doing for the Authors of Pain? The crowd couldn't give a single fuck about this feud, this match, or what's going on with Apollo Crews and Dana Brooke. Nobody cares. What's next? Are we going to see the end of Titus Catering? Poor me. Apollo Crews will be replaced with a new napkin folder in the coming weeks. What happened? Did Titus O'Neil, did he get upset that Apollo Crews didn't use the dinner forks? He used the salad forks instead for dinner? What the fuck? Why do I care about this? Are we headed towards an Apollo Crews heel turn? Are we going to see Apollo Crews versus Titus O'Neil inside Hell in a Cell? Please, end my fucking pain. The Authors of Catering are buried, and there's no coming out. They are buried knee-deep in mashed potatoes, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel. They are buried in fucking gravy. It's over. Whatever you remember of them in NXT, that's what you got the WWE Network for. Moving on here. Stephanie, I'm not talking about this. I refuse to. I'm not talking about it. I went over it. I don't give a shit. It's disgusting. The women's division is fucking garbage on Monday Night Raw. I'm not talking about it. I talked about it in the beginning. If you want to hear my thoughts on it again, please go rewind. Bo Dallas versus Scott Dawson of the Revival. I can't wait for this one. Scott Dawson wins here. Dawson drops Dallas on his head. I think it was a DDT. Fuck me if I know. Covers him for a 3 count. 1, 2, 3, it's over. So, Curtis Axel, I don't know what was going on. I was so confused, I had to rewind it 3 fucking times because people were making mention of Curtis Axel fucked up. Curtis Axel fucked up. Scott Dawson beat Bo Dallas. And Curtis Axel got on the microphone and then said, it's now Dash Wilder's turn. And the announce team and the commentary team were going on and on and on about how Curtis Axel has the memory of a goldfish. And they were making fun of him and poking fun at him, at him, as if he made a mistake. And I'm trying to figure this out. What the fuck are they laughing at? Curtis Axel didn't make a mistake. Scott Dawson fought Bo Dallas. Now it's Curtis Axel's turn to fight Dash Wilder. People telling me he got the names mixed up. Well, the commentary team was under the impression that it was Curtis Axel who fucked up the name of the Revival member. And well, it was Michael Cole who fucked up. Yet everybody's pointing blame at Curtis Axel. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Curtis Axel loses to Dash Wilder here. Dash slams Axel back on his face with a gory bomb for the victory. After the match, the Revival hug. B-Team recovers. And they say that they may have won singles matches, but they are still the Raw Tag Team Champions. Oh, wow. The B-Team. By the way, if you own one of those t-shirts, I'm glad you wasted your money. You deserve it. Seriously. When you talk about merchandise, all you need to do is go to barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. My merchandise blows away that B-Team t-shirt. If you paid $30 for that shirt, my God, man, I would laugh in your face and I would not regret it one single iota. Stephanie McMahon is in the trainer's room. She's icing her arm. Poor Stephanie. Should have broke it. Alexa Bliss and Baron Corbin are with her. Kurt Angle walks in and Corbin ends up just running down Kurt Angle. Corbin says Raw is in chaos with Angle in charge. Angle says he's doing the best that he can. Stephanie then says, Kurt, you might need a vacation. Not a permanent one, but you might need to take a few steps back and just kind of reassess things and get your mind straight, go on a vacation. Stephanie says he needs some time off. So Stephanie McMahon names Baron Corbin the acting GM of Monday Night Raw. So now we have Monday Night Raw in the hands of Baron Corbin. Wow. He got a promotion the night after SummerSlam. Good on you, Mr. Corbin. And then we got the title match, Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. This was a very good match until the fucking disgusting ending that we seen with the Shield. Reigns calls for a Superman punch here towards the end of this thing. Balor kicks him. Balor drops Reigns for a near fall. Balor with more offense here, including a sling blade. Balor goes for the dropkick. Reigns knocks him out of the air with a Superman punch, which looks like the worst move in all of wrestling. I just can't stand it when he does it. 2 count. Reigns can't believe it. Crowd is hot. Everybody's on their feet. Reigns gets up, waits for Balor again, playing to the crowd. Reigns calls for a spear, but Balor knees him in the face, rolls him up for a 2 count. Reigns jumps up and drops Balor with a big punch. Reigns is waiting for a spear, but out comes Braun Strowman to a monster pop with the briefcase. He walks down the aisle with the briefcase. Balor takes advantage of this, hits a sling blade, goes to the top, and misses the coup de grace as Reigns moves. Reigns nails the spear for the win. Strowman gets in the ring, and Roman doesn't know that he's behind him. Strowman boots Roman in the chest and then cashes in. But the announcement was made, but the bell didn't ring. The bell didn't ring. So, all of a sudden, out come Dean and Seth wearing Shield gear. They surround the ring, stare Braun Strowman down. People are chanting, holy shit. I understand that people were living in the moment, but you gotta see it for what it really is. Garbage. Braun goes for Roman. They beat down Strowman. Reigns with a Superman punch. Ambrose takes the knee out of Strowman. Rollins hits a super kick. The Shield send Braun Strowman over the top rope. Ambrose then starts tearing apart the announce table, and there was a reason why the announce table... I was wondering why the announce table was by ringside. I don't know if anybody made mention of that on Twitter. The announce table is usually on the stage, in that new area, on the stage, on top of the ramp. The announce table, which they only have one announce team on Monday Night Raw. It's not like we see the Spanish guys or the German guys. They have one announce team, and the announce table was by ringside, specifically for this spot. So Ambrose clears the table. They lift Braun up. He fights out. People were legitimately cheering. As Strowman tried to get out of the triple powerbomb, people were booing the Shield. So it is what it is. It's exactly what I'm stating. You're not going to turn Strowman heel during this. You're not. And people were booing the Shield. And they were cheering and they wanted Strowman to get out of this thing. They were pro-Strowman on this night. So Reigns comes over, they lift Braun up again, and they deliver the triple powerbomb with the Shield, ending Monday Night Raw as Raw goes off the air. Trash. It's all manipulation. They're trying to use the Shield to turn Braun Strowman into a heel to befriend Roman again and be a pro-Roman crowd or have a pro-Roman crowd. No, I'm sorry. No, we're not doing this again. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Roman's not over. This entire Brock Lesnar thing was a complete failure. He's still not over. He's still the same exact fucking way that we've seen him, no matter what narrative WWE tried to twist. And now they're using Braun Strowman and the Shield again to use the Shield to turn Braun Strowman into a heel. Because they refuse to turn Roman into a fucking heel. But like I said, if this ends up being Dean Ambrose's fucking coming out party, I'll be the first one to stand up and give it a resounding ovation. And that's exactly what needs to happen. And that's the way Monday Night Raw went off the air. This show, man, was incredibly disappointing. Incredibly disappointing for a Monday Night Raw. I don't know why WWE continues to put on these shows following pay-per-views and they do absolutely nothing to get you excited about where they're going into the next show. We didn't see any call-ups. We didn't see any debuts. We didn't see no title changes. It was nothing but women's bullshit, Roman bullshit, pushing those two agendas down everybody's throat, and then using the Shield to make Braun Strowman into a heel. That was it. That was all Monday Night Raw. It was the women and that. No Lesnar. We got a Paul Heyman sighting, but nothing came of it. A cash-in teased. Nothing came of it. I don't see how Monday Night Raw tonight was a resounding success. I don't see how anybody gives this show a thumbs up. This was a piss-poor fucking show to follow a major pay-per-view. If you're following a major pay-per-view like that, you should really start making those shows pretty damn special. We do have SmackDown Live to look forward to tomorrow. Tag team title match between the New Day and the Bludgeon Brothers. Randy Orton finally gets his hand one-on-one against Jeff Hardy. And we'll see what happens with that. And also an exclusive interview with AJ Styles. One thing I want to mention. History was made Friday. And I had the absolute fucking honor and pleasure to call the Amazing Red versus Anthony Gangone for the House of Glory World Heavyweight Championship at High Intensity 7 in front of 2,500 people. It was the biggest moment in my young commentary career, and I shared that moment with my entire House of Glory family. Ben Venuto, Ryan Matthew Shapiro, Solid Monster sat behind me. I was on top of the world. And House of Glory filmed this match, uploaded this match, and presented it to you in a 1-hour upload. Everything about this storyline is exactly why I love. Everything about this match, rather, is exactly why I love professional wrestling. And the Amazing Red and Anthony Gangone, my heart goes out to both of them, man. They both made me fucking incredibly proud of the company I work for. I have absolutely nothing but praise for both men. That match was absolutely phenomenal. And I would absolutely, without any hesitation, put that match up against anything that happened on SummerSlam. And I want you guys to go watch it. I'm going to leave you a link down below in the comment section. House of Glory World Championship match. No ropes match at High Intensity 7. It was the main event. The Amazing Red versus Anthony Gangone for the House of Glory World Championship. Let me know what you guys think of that down below. And go over there and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about that Amazing Red Anthony Gangone match. I'm getting out of here, guys. I'll see you for SmackDown Live. My voice is shot after this weekend. And we'll see what happens, man. SmackDown Live tomorrow. Hopefully it's better than what we've seen on Monday Night Raw. And don't fall for the bullshit. The Roman Reigns agenda is seemingly still in full effect. I'll see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown Live.